He did not invent anything. He did not get lucky on a stock tip. He did not inherit money. He did not flip houses or start a company or find a co-founder at a Stanford networking event. He just did the same boring thing, every single month, for 23 years. And now he has more money than 95% of the people who were smarter than him. That is not a motivational story. That is a math problem. And the math is more unsettling than you think. Here is what nobody explains properly about wealth. Most people think it is about income. Earn more, have more. Simple. Clean. Wrong. The United States Federal Reserve tracks something called the Survey of Consumer Finances. They do it every 3 years. And the data keeps showing the same uncomfortable result: high income does not reliably produce wealth. Doctors, lawyers, investment bankers, people earning $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, a third of them have less than 1 month of expenses saved. Not because they are bad with money. Because income without discipline is a river with no banks. It just spreads out and disappears. So what did our guy actually do? At 27, he started putting 18% of his paycheck into a low-cost index fund. Every month. No exceptions. Not when the market crashed in 2008. Not when he got married and money got tight. Not when his car broke down or his roof leaked or every financial headline in 2022 screamed that everything was collapsing. He just kept going. His salary was never spectacular. Mid-level project manager. Comfortable, not extravagant. He maxed his 401k, invested the rest in a Vanguard account, and spent the leftover on his life. At 50, he crossed $1 million. Not because of genius. Because of friction removal. He automated the transfer. The money left his account before he could decide to spend it. The discipline was not a daily act of willpower. It was one decision, made once, that removed the need to decide again. Now here is where the math gets genuinely strange. Compound interest is not a metaphor. It is an exponential function. And humans are notoriously bad at understanding exponential things intuitively. In the first 5 years, he accumulated around $60,000. Barely impressive. In the next 5, maybe 90,000 more. Still, nobody writes a book about that. But in his final 5 years before 50, the last stretch, his portfolio added over $300,000. Same contribution. Same percentage. Same boring index fund. The system had simply been running long enough to become unreasonable. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after his 50th birthday. Not because he got smarter. Because the machine had been running since he was 11. Discipline does not produce linear results. It produces a slow, quiet build followed by an outcome that looks, from the outside, like luck. Here is the uncomfortable part. The strategy is not secret. The math is not hidden. Index funds, compound growth, automated savings, time in the market, this has been documented, published, repeated, and explained for decades. And yet the personal savings rate in America sits around 3 to 4%. In the UK, it briefly went negative in 2022. People were spending more than they earned, on average, during a cost of living crisis. The gap between knowing and doing is not filled by information. More articles will not close it. More podcasts will not close it. The gap is behavioral. It is emotional. It is the difference between understanding that delayed gratification compounds and actually being the kind of person who lives that way for 20 years. Most people are not that person. And most of those people will look at someone like him at 50 and assume he had some advantage they did not. So here is the question worth sitting with. If the formula is public, the math is proven, and the tools are accessible to almost anyone with a bank account, then what exactly is the thing that most people are missing? Is it discipline? Or is it something older and harder than that? The belief, deep enough to act on, that the future self is real.